Hi everyone. This week we're going to have our first test. It'll be on Thursday. It'll be on lessons 1-1 through 1-6, everything that we've covered in the last couple weeks, and material that you've seen on your first couple quizzes. Tonight you'll have a practice packet to complete, and since our class does not meet on Tuesday, it will be due by tomorrow night. So, on to today's lesson. We're going to be looking at lesson 1-7, which is about reasoning, and we're initially going to be looking for patterns. Our goal is to write rules for the patterns and to make predictions as to the next terms in that pattern. Looking at our first one, I just decided to start one with had just shapes in it. With these shapes, I'm noticing triangles, but they're facing different directions. Some are pointing down and some are pointing up. So can we recognize that pattern, number one, and can we continue the pattern? I'm pointing down, up, up, down, up, up, down. Then the next one will be pointing up twice and down again. So we see that we can analyze it, look for the pattern, and continue the pattern. The next one has a combination of letters and numbers. AB1, CD2, EF3, and it continues. Can you complete that pattern? Now that we've seen a couple patterns, let's talk about looking at these and coming up with the rule. The rule that tells me how to go from one term to the other. Now, to observe a pattern, we have to look at how the numbers are going. If the numbers are going down in value, that could mean that I'm either subtracting or dividing. If the numbers are from the start are going up, that could be an addition or a multiplication. So you need sometimes to test both out. To get from 30 to 25, from 25 to 20, 20 to 15, this one's pretty straightforward. I am subtracting 5. So if my pattern is to keep subtracting 5, you will complete those next 3 in the pattern. We want to now do one more thing. We want to be able to write the rule. This rule says start with 30 and then subtract 5 repeatedly. Start with 30 and subtract 5. Finish the pattern. Our next one might take a little bit of looking into. 1, 2, 5, 10, 13. To get from 1 to 2, I either have to add 1 or multiply by 2. To get from 2 to 5, I have to add 3. To get from 5 to 10, I'm either adding 5 or multiplying by 2. To get from 10 to 13, looks like I'm adding 3 again. So this part is pretty easy. I'm going to add 3 here and add 3 here. If I add 1 here, the pattern doesn't make sense there, so I'm going to be multiply by 2, add 3. Multiply by 2, add 3. Multiply by 2, add 3. So, and you keep that pattern going. Multiply by 2 and add 3. So if I look at the rule for that, that rule says starting with 1, alternate by multiplying by 2 and adding 3. Continue the pattern. On to the next part of this, which is giving you the background information. In this next slide, I'm just telling you that inductive reasoning is making conclusions based on patterns that you're observing. That conclusion by inductive reasoning is called a conjecture. For a number pattern, a conjecture can be a rule that explains how to make that pattern, and we just illustrated a couple. Now let's just look at 1 or 2 more. Here's another example. I go from 50 to 45 to 40 to 35. Once again, you're noticing that I am subtracting 5. So this one should be familiar to the one we started with. Start with 50 and subtract 5 repeatedly. Continue the pattern. We'll do one last one together. 1, 3, 4, 12, 13. See if you can find the pattern and complete. and we'll go over this in class. I'll see you then.